Mortal Kombat is a worldwide phenomenon, a revolution in the fighting game industry until the mid-90s when it stepped down from its throne during its transition into 3D, only to return with a vengeance in 2011. Join MK Secrets as we review the history of the franchise that changed our childhood, our future, and the world of fighting games forever. The release of Mortal Kombat 2 turned the franchise into one of the most popular franchises in the world. Mortal Kombat 1 and 2 set a high standard of quality that future titles would have to reach and even surpass. After 2 years of development, the arcade version of Mortal Kombat 3 appeared in spring of 1995. With a bigger budget and an even bigger development team, Mortal Kombat 3 needed to live up to much higher expectations from the fans by introducing a more diverse cast of characters, crisp graphics, and a new combo system. After being defeated at the end of the previous game, Shao Kahn's hunger for Earthrealm grows even stronger. With no tournaments left, he resorts to a second plan, one he began 10,000 years ago. When Queen Sindel, Kitana's mother and Shao Kahn's wife, took her own life, the Emperor ordered his Shadow Priests, led by Shang Tsung, to make it possible to resurrect Sindel's spirit. Not on the Outworld, however, but on Earth. This gives Shao Kahn the right to step through the dimensional gates and reclaim his queen. Starting an invasion at the same time, Shao Kahn begins feasting on souls, one after the other. Raiden, the god of thunder, shields the souls of the Earth Warriors who must protect our planet one more time. Because of several lawsuits, royalty disputes, and involvement in the production of other fighting games, several actors from the first two games did not return for the third. Daniel Pesina advertised Bloodstorm while dressed as Johnny Cage.
Rest in peace.
And Carlos Pesina was involved in the production of Tattoo Assassins. Only a few of the characters from the previous games returned. Half of them were portrayed by new actors. Many fan-favorite characters did not appear in the game, and the new fighters did not succeed in filling the void that was left behind. The game introduces several new fighters, resulting in a total of 15 playable characters. Sindel, the resurrected queen and key to Kahn's occupation of Earth. Stryker, the character finally appears in the game. He is the leader of the Riot Control Brigade and finds himself the lone survivor of a city once populated by millions. Cyrax and Sector, originally codenamed Ketchup and Mustard, are cybernetic ninjas from the Lin Kuei and are on a mission to find and kill the renegade Sub-Zero. Their design was inspired by science fiction movies such as The Predator. At one point, Cyrax was named Robocop. Nightwolf, a Native American. He uses magic to protect his tribe's sacred land from the invasion. Shiva, Sindel's personal protector and a member of the four-armed Shokan race. In Outworld, the race of centaurs is the natural enemy of the Shokan. One of the best stop-motion figures was used for this character. Cabal, a survivor of an attack by Shao Kahn's extermination squads and scarred for life. He is now kept alive by artificial respirators. Cabal was initially designed with 2 buzzsaws instead of tiger hooks. A trench coat and backpack were also part of the original appearance, but were not included due to technology limitations. For Mortal Kombat 3, the sub-boss is Motaro. Conceived as a fighter with 2 big hammers, he was later evolved to a member of the Centaur race, and the hammers were given to the returning boss, Shao Kahn. To keep the tradition from the previous games, 2 hidden fighters were included. The hidden ninja, Smoke, returns in cybernetic form. This is the first hidden, playable character in the arcade series.
Round 1, fight!
The Black Ninja, Noob Saibot, also returns. This time he is using Kano's sprites due to the lack of ninja fighters in the game.
Kano wins.
Mortal Kombat 3 introduced several new features never before seen in a fighting game. One of these features is the dedicated run button. Its introduction radicalized the gameplay, turning the traditional defensive style of play into a more offensive and aggressive style. Another new feature was the character-specific combos, which could be combined with the old-school juggles. Some of these combos ended with pop-ups, which positioned opponents for an easier juggle. The arenas in Mortal Kombat 3 were more detailed and realistic than the previous games, and were partially created using pre-rendered 3D elements. Transitions between some of the stages during battles were also possible. Representing common urban locations, some arenas lacked the mystique and dark atmosphere that backgrounds had in previous games. Mortal Kombat 3 is the first game of the franchise that faced the challenge of the internet and tried its best to keep its secrets hidden so fans could enjoy discovering them on their own. New versus codes appeared. They allowed the players to change aspects of the game when facing a human opponent. Codes were revealed to the fans everywhere, published articles, TV and magazine commercials, in-home ports of the game, and even in film. A new minigame also appeared to take the place of the classic Pong from Mortal Kombat 2. Players must reach 100 battles or enter a versus code to play another great game from the past, Galaga.
That was pathetic.
Starting as a rumor, a new finishing move was added, the Animality. It allowed your fighter to transform into a wild animal and tear their victim apart. The creativity and the effort put in this finishing move is questioned by many fans, still to this day. Before Mortal Kombat 3 was released, an audio file appeared on the internet and revealed that Johnny Cage was killed by Kintaro. However, it remains a mystery whether the file is official or made by fans.
We are gathered here today to mourn the death of Johnny Cage.
To continue the mystery with Cage's absence from the game, a Johnny Cage transformations counter was added in the menu of the arcade machine.
MK3. It's not over. Not even close.
Revisions 2.0 and 2.1 brought a lot of changes to the game. Fixes for gameplay issues, more balance, an introduction story, babalities and friendships were only part of the new additions. Also included was an advertisement for the then upcoming Mortal Kombat feature film. And this was not the last update the game received.
Shang Tsung wins. Flawless victory. Friendship. Friendship? Again?
The home versions tried their best to come as close to the original as possible, and even offered playable versions of the boss characters. However, a lot of additional gameplay issues were present in all of them. With the exception of the PC-DOS version, this port is known to be one of the best home ports an arcade Mortal Kombat has ever received. In more recent releases, Midway Arcade Treasures offered an emulated arcade version of the game. Mortal Kombat 3 received mixed opinions from the fans. Some liked the new, aggressive combat style. Others preferred the old-school defensive style from the previous two games. The overall better graphics and animation, the more powerful hardware, and the superior sound did not make up for the missing fan-favorite characters, the poorly developed finishing moves, and the lost mystique and dark feel of the arenas. This left the game feeling somehow incomplete.
Is there going to be a Mortal Kombat 4, and will you ever draw the line where you say it's too violent?
Yeah, there's of course we're going to draw the line.
Okay.
Certainly, yeah.
In the fall of 1995, Ultimate Mortal Kombat 3 was released. The game is actually an updated version of Mortal Kombat 3, but received the status of a standalone title due to the many changes and the additional content. All fan-favorite male and female ninjas return in this game, portrayed by new actors. 3 hidden characters can be unlocked via Ultimate Combat Codes: Melina, the original Sub-Zero from Mortal Kombat 1, and Ermac, a character based on Aruma from the days of the original Mortal Kombat.
Excellent.
These were not the only hidden playable characters in the game. A human version of Smoke was included, in addition to the robotic character, who was no longer a hidden fighter. Human Smoke is one of the most powerful characters in the game.
It's official. You suck.
Noob Saibot retained his status as a hidden, unplayable character. The fighter is, however, heavily updated and no longer uses Kano's sprites. One of the biggest mysteries in the game was the ninja fighter, Rain. He appeared in a few scenes in the intro. Fans speculated that this was a 5th playable character and searched for ways to unlock him. The truth, however, was that Rain was never planned to be a playable character and was a last-minute addition. The arcade game was ported to Sega Saturn, and despite the release of the previous titles for the next-generation systems, 16-bit versions were developed. These versions will be remembered as having terrible balance, missing sounds, removed finishes, and even the sacrifice of Shiva. All of this due to the limited data storage capacity of game cartridges. There were several additions which made the home version special. The Adenian Ninja, Rain, and Noob Saibot are playable fighters. The boss characters can be unlocked and are playable in Versus mode. And a new finishing move, Brutality, replaced the missing Animality. Years later, it was discovered that a ninja fighter, called Chameleon, was planned for the Genesis version, but was left in the game unfinished. Recent releases for PlayStation 2, Xbox Live and Arcade Collection offered an emulated arcade version of the game. The release of the two games was followed by an enormous wave of merchandising and side projects. Malibu Comics released several comic books based on the franchise. Several aspects of the original plot were changed, creating an alternative, non-canon storyline. The books ran for 10 months, starting October 1994, and were cancelled due to low sales after publishing just 27 issues. The Mortal Kombat card game was created and released by Brady Games in 1995, although based on the franchise, it did not include the violence seen in the video games. The release of the two games and the two projects is only a fraction of everything that happened in the year, advertised as the year of Mortal Kombat. In 1996, a special Wavenet edition of Mortal Kombat 3 and its update, Ultimate Mortal Kombat 3, were released. These versions supported multiplayer over Ethernet connection, allowing two arcade machines at different locations to play against each other. Modifications were built into the games to support online matches and to prevent people from cheating by using infinite combos. The Wavenet version of Ultimate Mortal Kombat 3 has Noob Saibot as a hidden playable character. In this version, the Black Ninja even has his signature teleport as a special move. With its great idea and flawless execution, the Wavenet edition seemed a little ahead of its time. The high price for both operators and players led to their fast demise. Hated by some, but loved by millions, Ultimate Mortal Kombat 3 is one of the most played games of the franchise and will forever remain in the hearts of players.